This up against Well Met, and as you can see, they are into their striking mode. So Blackheart's Bay and Haunted Mines going to be taken out of the pool here by Well Met. Those are certainly some definitely more controversial maps when it comes to Heroes of the Storm and the competitive balance. But Dragonshire Sky Temple, that leaves us with Garden of Terror or Cursed. And, you know, Nick, if I have to guess, it's probably going to be a Curse.
Yeah, I mean, so many teams are just favoring Cursed Hollow, considering it one of the best maps in the game. And yeah, Garden of Terror actually being struck out by Well Met. So Cursed Hollow it is.
So yeah, it's definitely been the mainstay map. You know, we've seen quite a bit of it over the time, but you know, sometimes we will see a little bit of variety. We'll see a Dragonshire, or a Garden, or a Sky Temple, but you know, I can't tell you how many more Cursed Hollows that we've seen in a lot of these drafts concepts. So going back and forth, looks like Arthas is going to be the ones to start things off, and they're going to be getting rid of the man who cannot see the Illidan.
Yeah, Illidan's still a very, very strong pick in this patch, and no surprise having him banned out. It's a good ban to get him out of the game. He's just devastating as ever. So yeah, no surprises here.
Now, something to talk about in terms of a support the Illidan kind of comp that you might see a little bit later is that we've had some changes to Uther. He's no longer quite the powerhouse, the juggernaut. I mean, he can now die with ramifications rather than that ghost that just kind of comes back to haunt your dreams, so to speak. But, you know, in terms of support the Illidan comps, I'm not entirely too sure we'll see too many of them today.
Yeah, it's definitely a big question mark. What we're going to see here. There's so many different team. Oh, and wow, a first pick on Zeratul. That is definitely a very European thing. But I'm not surprised to see the ban on Tyrande either from Well Met. Tyrande getting some quite nice love in this patch, and she has a devastating combos potential with Jaina. So, but yeah, the Zeratul pick, it's definitely an interesting pick. Zeratul did get some nerfs in this patch, but he's still a quite. I mean, if you set up a good Void Prison, it can be a huge game changer.
Yeah, absolutely devastating. And a lot of these teams going back and forth, they really do have their favorite first picks. Well Met, though, looks like they're going to be switching maybe that vote to Jaina. Jaina, absolutely powerful in what I've seen this previous few days after the patch. She had some really big quality of life changes, as well as a new talent, I believe, at level 20, I want to say. Arcane Power?
Yeah, it's a new generic kind of talent, but it's only located on Jaina at the moment, called Arcane Power.
Right.
It increases the damage of spells by 15%. But I've
Massive.
seen, I haven't seen many people using it. I think Bolt of the Storm has been the main
Still a
thing.
favorite. Right.
Yeah.
Mobility is still the name of the game there. Looks like she's
Right.
going to be paired up with the Zagara, so Well Met. They get that back line ready to go. Zagara is still as popular as ever. The Maw and the Void Prison combo will not be happening as they have now split up that duo. So, you know, one might get VP, the other might get mod. It's, you know, it could be whoever comes first. Might be able to dictate that fight. But, I mean, Jaina Zagara, it's definitely a nice, solid back line. And you know, Zeratul, you said it, you know, it's a very European kind of pick, and we definitely do see it a lot more on that side of the pond rather than on our side with the NA, but still very powerful. And the double bombs, they're the ones that got nerfed. They don't nearly hit as hard as they used to. The freer bombs now 50% instead of full damage.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we are seeing Zeratul in North America, but not that early in the draft process. So definitely interesting. But then here we have Stitches and Nazebo coming out as well. Very, very interesting. Stitches into Nazebo zombie wall is really, really nice. And then obviously having that Void Prison to kind of zone out the enemy team from trying to follow up on any of their teammates getting picked. So some definitely good synergy here. Again, Nazebo and Stitches both getting some nerfs in this patch. So, but I guess Team Arthas is very, very confident to pick these heroes. Probably very comfortable with them.
They've very likely been practicing the new kits all week in preparation of the tournament because I know that they definitely want to go to those finals. They want to get into that top 8. And from what I've heard in the previous qualifiers, they definitely have the medal, but some of those giant juggernaut teams have shut them down in the past, which is why they're qualified and Arthas isn't at this point. Well met, going to go with the hero with Rhaegar. Rhaegar was a very popular ban in NA last night in a separate tournament, but today it looks like he's going to get through. I'm a little curious. I mean, pre-patch, I would have said that there would have at least been a Sergeant Hammer by now, but I haven't seen her anywhere in any side of the ocean.
Yeah, people really haven't been favoring her too much in this patch. She did receive some hit point nerfs, but to be honest, towards the end of last patch, I wasn't seeing her too much. I know some European teams really like her, but people have been doing a lot of Jaina Tyrande stuff and just picking other heroes. Zagara and Tychus have been making a huge comeback, so they've kind of been stealing the spotlight from Sergeant Hammer a little bit, but.
A little bit, yeah. And looks like Well Met will actually finish off their combo with the Tassadar. So they're still looking for a tank to put on the board, but I mean, they got the double healing ward, they got the shields, the burst healing, and that should be a very good protective core for that. A little bit more of a squishy, a little bit more immobile back end there with that Zagar, with that Jaina. I mean, yeah, they can put out the damage, but if they get caught, especially by his stitches, you're going to have yourselves a little bit of a hard time. Wow, double stealth from Arthas? That's a Nova Uther to finish things off over there. They are really going, I think, for the big burst pick comp right there.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, get a hook. You have so much, like you have lockdown here with Uther and Nazeebo potentially, and you have a lot of burst, and you have that, separation with Void Prison to secure any pick. But yeah, definitely liking the Nova pick. Like I want to see more Nova in professional play. So definitely really hyped.
Everybody like has a love-hate relationship with Nova. They love it when a Nova's on your team. You hate it when you're against her.
And well, some people hate it when Nova's on your team, but
I guess, yeah, fair enough. I mean, if you harken back to the glory days and the EU style tank of Chen to finish off things here for Well Met, but Nova has been so up and down. I can count the times I've seen her in competitive on one hand. It almost feels like at this point, though.
Yeah. More recently in North America, Complexity actually picked Nova against C9 Maelstrom to good success. So definitely potential there. And if you have a good solid Nova player and a good solid plan with Nova, then I feel that she can be a good pick.
Absolutely. So there's your teams, ladies and gentlemen, for your first game here into Enter the Storm. Sponsored by Alienmark, powered by Gosugamers. But, I mean, I knew that coming into this weekend, things might be a little different compared to what we're more used to, perhaps. Those are all the wrong buttons. There we go. I wasn't expecting a double stealth. Now, somebody actually said in the chat, ages ago, just before the draft started, that Arthas actually very much does favor stealth. The Zeratul and the Nova were both listed as potential picks. Getting both of them here, I guess this is just the Arthas style, and I'm just not as familiar with it as I want to be.
Yeah, the same with me, man. I'm not really familiar with Arthas, but I'm really looking forward to see what they can do here. And one thing to note is Well Met actually last picked Chen, and Chen is actually a pretty nice warrior pick on Cursed Hollow because of if there's any Grave Golem fight and they can contest and knock different heroes off the point with the barrel if they choose to go for that, which everyone is right now.
Yep.
So that's a nice map specific choice. And
to go on that then as well, I mean, go back to what we were talking about a bit with the Unstoppable. I mean, Zagara can now maw Grave Golems, which is a little funny to say, but a barrel comes out, she could actually maw it, and out it goes. If you haven't killed it, well, you can't capture the point now because it's technically not dead. At the same time, Zeratul Void Prisons, I want to say this is a confirmed bug, but it globally stops anybody from capturing it. Like, it actually freezes the point as well. It treats the point as a unit.
So I actually think that's intended. And when Blizzard actually nerfed the ability to steal it with Void Prison. They were like, well, we want you to be able to make cool plays, but we don't want it to be too overpowering. So I'm pretty sure that's intended. But yeah, that's definitely a possible thing that could come into play in this match.
Well, those are the big things that I think about when I see Cursed Hollow. It's just like, what kind of laning phases? It's a very big map. Could we see roaming? And then from there, what is the Merc situation? And having not only Zagara, but Shen and Zeratul, there's a lot of point contention available to both these teams. Stitches can be pulling people out of that as well. We got, Precision Strikes, Zeratul's, of course, can just dart in and out, get the damage off, and set up very well. So it's hard to call. As I said, these two teams have met each other in previous qualifiers. They have, bounced around, and they do know a little bit what to expect from each other. Arthas has traditionally pulled ahead, so it's up to Well Met here to make this comp work, I think.
Yeah, I think we could definitely see roaming from Arthas. From Well Met, I expect some kind of tri-lane with probably Zagara, Rhaegar, Jaina, or something like this. But it's possible that Arthas can also match their tri-lane with kind of like a kill lane. So kind of trying to mitigate the tri-lane push, and also, making it very dangerous for the pushing tri-lane to be in that lanes, and like Stitches and hook into Zombie Wall or into like Nova Burst. But the roaming is a definite potential as well.
We're just waiting for the teams to ready up here into the custom game. They've been filtering in. There's an observer bug. You can't actually see all the people in the lobby, but and I don't think that the enemy team could either. So we have confirmed all of everybody is here and ready to go, and we are going to be starting it off now. Mr. Nick Hotz, congratulations. You are now into your first game of Enter the Storm, qualifier number 3 for Cup number 1, and we're going to the Cursed. I'm not even going to attempt to call these guys by their real name. We're just going to call them Team Arthas here on blue. Well Met going to be on red.
Works for me, man. I'm pretty hyped for this game.
One of our admins actually gave me a translate link, and it's like, nope, not. I listened to it. My tongue doesn't work that way. I'm sorry.
Yeah, man, I can't pronounce names.
Yeah, so we do apologize if we offend anyone of fans of Arthas, but we just don't want to do them any disjustice or injustice at this point. So we will just take the easy way out. So once again, on the blue hand side here, guys, a team very strong in its own right. They know exactly what's coming. We're going to have to see if they can make this work. It's going to be Stock there on that Stitches. Unstable. Nova, Cooney-chan, and Andy Lendy going to be making up the team of Team Arthas.
Yeah, and Team Arthas, happy to kind of dance around there. The Zeratul unstable, just dancing around. But yeah. But on the side of Well Met, we're already seeing that tri-lane entering the in the bottom lane. So it's going to be Jaina, Zagara, and Rhaegar down there.
Yep, Shadowmare, Girdamhard, Hasuabs. Looks like Saki's looking for a 4-man collapse, but they're not going to find anyone with that Oracle. And holding down the top is going to be Soap, as he tries to roast some pumpkins. All right, fun. Now, you said we could have a roaming lane. With the double stealth, it does lend a lot of credence to that theory. You don't show up on the mini-map. You have to really be looking for that shimmer, that telltale shimmer that there's a stealth around. But having both of them roaming around means that this bottom lane is really not going to be holding its own.
Yeah, I'm thinking that the roamers are gonna have to pay a lot of attention to bottom lane here. I don't think Nazeebo is going to be able to hold off this push by himself, especially with that Zagara and Jaina. Just so much wave clear and push potential.
Well, Soap, he was the big target up to the top, but it's really hard to take down a Panda this early on, especially with no stuns between any 3 of those characters. So Soap will just tap the well, and he will continue on living. But here comes now the roam, so to speak, unstable Nova going here for Saki. Saki really far forward, but Cooney-chan and crew, they might actually be able to get this kill, and they will. Yeah, Saki was really pushed up with that Tassadar, and that is going to be lights out for him. Now, we do got Hasuabs up roaming up to try to just, continue on with the XP soak, but as you said, we could have some really squished characters here.
Yeah, definitely. That's never a good thing to get killed early on like that. But the bottom lane, it's going pretty good for them. There's no more ammo left on these towers, so once they can get back. Oh, but Hasuab's going down there in mid.
Yep, Jaina, man. I mean, you said that she can put out the damage. She needs that blink. She needs that mobility. Typically, well, all right, maybe not typically, but sometimes we'll see sprint as the level 13 option. She just doesn't have any kind of escapes. And big punishment comps like the double roaming stealth burst, that's going to take down somebody who can't escape very easily.
Oh yeah, definitely. And Team Arthas in really, really nice shape here. Well, Matt's actually going for Giant, but being invaded by Zeratul and Nova at the moment.
Oh, Shadow Mary. Again, no escapes. Bam, Rhaegar down. That's going to be the bombs into the snipe and everything else to go with it. But they're going to allow these Giants to go their way because they're going to collapse on top of Sake. Sake trying to come in. Oh, the snipe miss doesn't matter. Unstable's there. Kuni-chan with the heals, keeping these stealthers up. Asuwabs is going to try for the kill on top of Unstable, but he loses vision in the twisty hedge. And Andy, he's going to go back bottom, but there's a tribute top.
Yeah, I mean, Team Arthas is running a clinic on how to play this matchup, and yeah, looks like they were going to be able to just grab this tribute here, and they're almost a full level up here.
It's very hard to contest when you're that far down. I mean, we are on the even at talent tiers, but I mean, level 6 was just achieved to the 5. I mean, that's base stats, that's ability power. It's not quite another talent tier, but it's, again, just really hard to kind of deal with that. And, you know, so first tribute, it's okay to give it up. It's not the end of the world if you don't get it.
Yeah.
Apparently, though, Tassadar, oh my gosh.
Yeah, Sake just got taken out again. And, you know, people will say, oh, it's not a big deal if you die early in Heroes of the Storm. It actually adds up quite a bit, especially when you're giving up this many kills. So.
There goes the Zagara as well. I mean, you come in there with that slow. If you get that bomb off or the pinning shot, I mean, it's almost just guaranteed this early on into the game. I mean, you don't have the base hit points to deal with this kind of burst.
Yeah, I mean, the roaming style has just been very, very effective against Wellmet. Wellmet does have some nice pressuring mid, and Tassadar kind of pushing that wave up. So Wellmet is, well, they're not going to be able to contest though.
No, and this is going to be 2 quick tributes into the pockets there of Arthas. So
yeah.
they're primed for a pre-10 curse if this continues on.
Yeah, man, it's just you can't give up this many deaths you cannot give up this many deaths early on.
You just can't. I mean, you did say having a kill early on in Heroes of the Storm doesn't really matter too much, which is true to the fact if you have someone else to soak that lane. If you continually die, you're continually going to be on the back foot. You're not going to be able to push up. You're going to be afraid to push up. And that will affect your experience. And you can see already here almost a level and a half between the teams simply from kill counters.
Yeah, that's right. And, well, Nazebo might get a little ticked off here. Yeah, and he's going down. Definitely really helps with that underdog bonus to get a pick. But,
I mean, they just took a big note right there out of Team Arthas. I mean, they said, all right, well, you can go for the big, big squishy immobile heroes. Well, we can too. So Nazebo was definitely a big target right there. And look at this bottom pressure. I mean, they are just going YOLO right into it. And that might have perhaps been a little bit more than they could have handled. Kuni-chan comes in, and Zakar is just stuck in the corner. Right for it. But Kuni-chan getting low. We got Nova there low as well. Sake's coming down with that Oracle. 1 and 2. They get the return kills. But Andy, he's back in town. He's looking for some revenge. There goes the Jaina as well. So 2 for 2 by the end of it all. The Raynor, sorry, not Raynor, the Oosh is still there with that new flash of light as he gets with that ghost form. The tanks have actually come out of the top lane as well, Mr. Nick, and they are looking for this tribute, but it's still uncertain who's going to grab it.
Indeed, indeed. I mean, that trade actually pretty favorable for Wellmet since they were behind, so that helps on the experience catch-up. But they're not a full level behind anymore.
Not an entire level, no.
But, yeah,
they are down to bullets.
Yeah, exactly. So they're going to have to sacrifice that tribute, and therefore they're going to be cursed now. And that's always bad.
Oh, Sake, you dog! Doesn't matter! He has a face. but it did not matter. The blank forward there from Unstable. We get the vision for the Ravenous. We had pings down to that top boss. That's what Zagara and Jaina have been doing this entire time, but the rest of the team, I mean, there's nothing here to stop Arthas from just going right through all the towers. They get 3 kills. The top will finally actually go the way of Hasuabs and Gurdon, but man, they really pay for it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I agree with the Grave Golem there, because they're going to be losing a lot out of this, and they're missing a lot of soak in bottom and top when that was going on. So they're nearly 2 levels behind here. So not completely sure, but yeah.
So new patch, new talents, new strengths. Anything here that looks a little bit more out of the ordinary? I know Zeratul on this side like to go a bit more regeneration or block, but we got rapid displacement here for the roam from Arthas, so that has actually helped out quite a bit in terms of just going back and forth through the different lanes. Curse is now over as we take a look. Look at that ultimate Divine Shield from Uther.
Yeah, I mean, it actually got a stealth buff. It's 70-second cooldown now, down from 90, and then even the level 20 brings it down 20 seconds further than that too. So yeah, people are taking Divine Shield. I've seen it over in North America already, and definitely a nice pick against a hero like Jaina, sure.
Yeah, Jaina, Zagaris, somebody that can set up for a lot of the big bursts. Jaina absolutely will be able to serve up a lot of pain given the chance. I don't think she's really been given her chance as of yet. 12-3 for kills, if you take a quick note back and forth. And now the 13 talent tier here for Arthas means that we are in full retreat from Hasuab's crew, but Soap, yeah, he's going to barrel out of that one. He absolutely has to. It would have been another death on their sheet had that actually not been the case. So going back and forth, so anything else in terms of like new talents picked up, changes compared to what you might not have seen before?
I'm not seeing too much different. It looks pretty standard to me, unless there's something I'm missing. But yeah, it's very standard, other than the Divine Shield. And they're actually getting Fist of Justice at level 1. They moved that from level 4, I believe, and removed the original level 1 talent. So that's a little bit of a different thing.
No Conjurers, no block. We saw a little bit of block last night on the NA side of things, but now here comes the big combo. 1 and 2. We are going to get that Maw off. It will take down 2 people. The Rhaegar ultimate is actually very much on point, but Gurdon is not going to get out of it. Not with that hook. Goes right through everyone. I was watching an episode of Wanted right there from Stock, but you know, he curved the hook. He got the kill. We are looking for Sake. Sake with that E does have it, but does Stock have his number? We are body blocking here with Shadowmare, and Stock is just going to let him get away with that one. No more trick shots. Chen going down in the middle, though, with those double stealthers, the stuns, and Andy himself. So 14-13 by the end of it all, Nick.
Yeah, Wellmet wasn't really able to capitalize off that Maw, and then in addition to that, Wandering Keg was not available for that fight, because if you remember, you got hooked and had to use that, so not good for Wellmet there.
We had a bottom golem, now going to get cleaned up. It basically cleaved right through up to the keep gates, but unfortunately no towers were taken on at the end of it all. And the only positive thing about taking this top grave golem when Wellmet got cursed is that they weren't, you know, it wasn't available for Arthas, so they didn't have to deal with double golem pressure.
Yeah, that's definitely nice. It's really, it can get out of control when, you know, you lose one Grave Golem and then you have to defend that, and then you have to rotate and defend the other Grave Golem. So
we got prescience there from our Tassadar, so he's a little bit more stable, so to speak, these days. But you know, we're trying out these bruisers. Doesn't seem like they're actually going to go the way of Arthas. In fact, they are going to get completely stolen out. Soap jumps in. He's looking for that barrel for that isolation, but the Divine Shield comes in. Kuni-chan is just going to ignore that entire barrel. Here comes the Maw. It only does take down Stock. Andy in the front with that Ravenous. He's going to be the big target, and he will go down. Does not get a kill. Stock now is going to be kind of just body blocked, and he goes down as well. That's 2 kills nil for Wellmet, and all of a sudden they get themselves not only a few kills, some great experience, but now map pressure, and they still out the bruisers.
Yeah, that's definitely what they needed to stay in this game. It was looking bad for them, but that team fight, weird for Arthas. Kind of caught out in a weird spot there, but nice job by Wellmet to pick up that night camp and to secure those kills.
We have an improved ice block on Jaina here at 13.
Very, very interesting. Typically, you see sprint there. Yeah, it's not something you see every day.
Yeah, we did talk a little bit about sprint. Sometimes, though, you will actually just go pure blast cannon. Unstable, I don't think he actually has the confidence to get out of Shadowmare, and Shadowmare does have the bite butt, the feral lunge there at level 13. Here comes Hasuab as well. Good blink, though. And again, you know, it goes back to show rapid displacement. I mean, that really showed its strength right there. And Hasuabs is not going to be getting out of that one. Way too far overextended. Had to use an ult there from the Nova, but hey, kill secured, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's always worth it to use an ult to scare kill. And Soap here getting hooked.
Oh, does he have a barrel? I don't think he does.
Yeah,
No, he actually does.
Yeah, he'll be okay here. He was able to just kind of walk out. But yeah, it's not good. Not looking good right now for WellMet. But they are getting close to that 16. Jaino's respawning soon. They don't really have to worry about this tribute per se, but the boss, Arthas has started the boss.
Kuni-chan has the new Benediction talent here at level 16. Activate to reduce the mana cost by 50 and cooldown by 10. Allows a little bit more flexibility and spammability, especially for, you know, the heals, the stun. You want the double stun. Oh man, the Void! Void is so good!
That Void Prison was very, very good, and the reason being is Chen had Barrel available, and he could have, you know, knocked people off the point and possibly gone for a steal there. So very, very nice Void Prison, and Arthas is just going to be content to run away and deal with those Giants bottom. They don't want to fight now, you know, they dropped Void Prison there, but they got the goal, and that was the important part.
All right, 16 talents are going to now be in effect here for WellMet, and this will be 2 tributes now back into the pocket here of Arthas. 2-1. So not quite curse material yet, but we're going to have to see how this next tribute shakes out. But we are on even tiers. The fishing hook from stock, unfortunately, just not able to connect, looking for those kills. And these are basically the completed talents. Andy Lendy, despite the fact that Specialized Toxin got nerfed by 100%, coming down from plus 200 down to only the 1, he still feels that it's definitely a viable pickup at 16.
You know what? I would do the same thing on Nazebo. I've seen on North America people are going for the spider build and even Gargantuan, but I think
Yes.
you know, it probably requires more experimentation. But I would be playing Nazebo the same way right now. Just because a nerf happened doesn't mean you have to switch up your playstyle. You can just still play that same, you know, Nazebo that has been so strong.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
The Chen has actually opted to go a combination attack rather than pressure point as a note. So a little bit more of a fighting Chen, so to speak, as he comes back and forth. We got the vulnerability there on top of Jaina, Dimensional Warp, so it is very much a bruiser build here from Saki. He will 1v1 you. Groove Spines and the Brood expansion there, so no Mutalisks here. Of course, Mutalisks do not persist anymore after the targets are done, so a lot of people have now stopped taking it.
Yeah, I mean, people are just switching over to the just double Hydra now, which is very, very strong as well. So, and one thing to note is I really don't like the choice to not have, well, they don't have Root on Chen and they don't have Root on Jaina as well.
Yeah, that's, I'm not entirely too sure how that will shake out, but, you know, I almost feel like this boss was a fake out here from Arthas. It said, if you're not going to show up here, we're going to get a boss. If you go to get the tribute, then that's okay, because we got a boss. But Nova into the top is going to be the sneaky there, which is why I think it was a fake out in the long run. She's making her way down. Soap, though, with that barrel is going to stop out Andy and that Ravenous. The Nova's going to come in from behind. We got those pings, but Kuni-chan, oh, the Void again. 4 people in the Void. It's only Soap. Here comes the Wombo at 1,000 damage with that Precision Strike. Hasuab's with that Ice Block. We kind of left Nova to her own devices, so the rest of the team's going to have to get into this one. Hasuab going to use the Ice Block. He's going to get hooked, and he is now dead in the water. Unstable blink board. Looking for the shots on top of Gurdemhard. He's going to get them. He doesn't wormhole away, so he's too far forward, but he will get the kill eventually on top of the Zagara. Kuni-chan really low, cannot fight this out anymore. Needs a heal. Saki needs a heal as well. Gets the prescience. There goes the shields, and he's going to get out of that. But now it's going to be down to Soap and Shadowmare up against the rest of the team of Arthas. Soap is likely to die. He just has no way to get out of this one with that barrel down and nothing to jump to, and he will fall. 3 for 1 and a curse going the way of Arthas.
Yeah, and not only that, Wellmet just lost their top keep due to the curse and the minion waves just pushing top uncontested. So yeah, that was not good for Wellmet. They were able to trade keeps though because of that Grave Golem. Wellmet was able to actually grab Arthas Grave Golem, so mitigating it a little bit, but still it's not too good for Wellmet right now, especially because Arthas is winning the race to 20. So that's going to give them a lot of map control.
We've seen more or less the level advantage being held by Arthas the entire game. It's varied a little bit, you know. I think upwards of a level and a half, but now it's just a little bit under a level. But either way, will be that 20 advantage coming very quickly here for Arthas. As you said, they are winning that race, and having that race under their belt. I mean, we don't have a tribute here to kind of pressure a curse from them, so that it's going to be a little bit, and by the time if we do get to another curse scenario, both teams will probably be 20. But with the 20 advantage, you think we're going to see Arthas try to push that as quick as they can, because that's a small window.
Well, they're going to want to clear some of these mercs out, but yeah, I think they definitely want to probably try to look for some kind of hook. Earlier we saw them trying to hook Wellmet while they were at Knights, and we see Wellmet taking those Knights right now, but well, it looks like they're going on towards bottom. They know that Wellmet is taking their mercs, so they're trying to just get a little bit of damage done, maybe bait a fight here, but Wellmet is now 20 as well.
Yeah, we got the Hardened Shield, Storm Shield. We do have Storm Shield on the Rhaegar, but we don't have one for the heals on the side of Arthas. That's going to be sprint there from Andy. He felt he was definitely too far forward. Archon, Blinks, Hardened Shields. We got the Ravenous and Rewinds. A lot of Rewinds for the DPS here on top of Arthas. We're going to have to see if they can blow someone up, because this is a very important fight for both teams. We got the Void Fist into the back again. Unstable has to get into it, but where the does not affect him whatsoever. It's going to be Soap. He's trying to take down this neutral, but he cannot. Kuni-chan is now going to be a big target here from the Chen as well, and the combination strike is enough. Uther will drop. He's now down to just Flash of Light healing. And who's in that mod? It's going to be Snog. Snog does not have that blink. He has the Hardened Shield, and yeah, he's likely to go.
Yeah, Wellmet just had a lot of survivability there. I mean, that Jaina got hooked, but she used improved Ice Block. And then the Void Prison, I don't know, they weren't, Arthas wasn't really able to capitalize off that Void Prison, and now this is gonna mean a boss for Wellmet.
I don't think they're out of this one yet, Mr. Nick.
Oh no, definitely not.
More and more, I mean, it all comes down to late game. How many games have we seen? Doesn't matter, 1, 2, 3 level advantage. One good fight in the end game turns it all around. How many times have we seen that?
Yeah, this is still anyone's game, and they're going to be able to pick up this Grave here, but, you know, they still have Arthas still has the fort and top, so the Grave Golem isn't going to be as strong as it would normally be at this point in the game. One thing I wanted to note about the level 20 talents was Uther actually went for the upgraded
Shield.
Yeah, the upgraded shield. So that's going to make it a 50-second cooldown. But Uther did get picked off kind of early in that fight, and the redemption, the new resurgence for him, could have been a nice pick too.
I mean, again, like with the nerfs to the you can't do any of your ults anymore, so it's something that a lot of teams have to just really kind of play around. But here we go. Soap with that barrel doesn't really get the position that he wanted. We had the VP there on top of Sake and Shadowmare, but that's going to actually now be the Ancestral on top of Soap. Kuni-chan with that shield, with the stun. Soap's actually going to get the hook, but he's going to jump right through that wall. Man, those walls sometimes are super useful for Chen players, but that was a little bit of a weird engage, Mr. Nick. Like, it felt a little staggered, a little bit more disjointed. Nobody almost even close to going down by the end of it.
Yeah, Chen kind of got hooked in there, and then he was kind of just like engaging, and then he was taking a lot of damage, so they threw the Void Prison down and tried to separate him and kill Chen, but Chen was able to live there.
And now Unstable. He's a little bit too far forward, getting caught. Soap doesn't have the Ancestral this time. He's going to drop. Shadowmare's blocked by the ball. He can't get out of this one. He can get some shields, but that's it for the fight dog. And now 2-man down. The Golem was successfully captured by Wellmet, but they lose out to their heroes, and whoa, this is actually dangerous at all. It's stable. He's going to get in there. Oh, the blink over. Hasuops is likely to get the kill, but we have another blink ready to go. Unstable comes back. The rewind was huge. Here's the shield. Hasuops is now stuck in that ice block, and that's going to be the hat trick for 3 kills, and no tribute going the way of Well-Met.
That Grave Golem is barreling down on their core. They're going to have to respond to that as soon as possible, especially...
They got red in their eyes. They're looking for Sake. If they can get Sake here, that could be huge. But as you said, I mean, can that Grave Golem actually kill the core? I think it can.
I think
this was a rush. You can't defend this. You have to rush it right now. And I don't think Well-Met has it.
I think they were... Yeah, they were too late.
Wow. Nova. I don't think Arthas has it, I should say.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Void Prison is going to keep Gurdemhard in the back, but they can't even get through the shield of the Grave Golem. 3 catapults, 5 catapults. Well-Met will actually win by just taking that Golem by the end of it all. It doesn't matter that they lost out their team. Doesn't matter that they got killed. Wow,
What an exciting game to start today.
That's not how you expect that to go when you win that late game fight.